So what happens next? You got the offer in. Well, clearly you got to liaise with your professionals, liaise with the solicitor, liaise with your broker. If you've got conditions, make sure that you actually can satisfy those conditions, and be aware. Time is of the essence in some places. Just be aware that this is game on. Make sure you satisfy those conditions. They've got backup contracts. We try wherever possible to be available when the valuer goes out. So get the valuer out early, get them out as early as you can in the process, and remind them. And there's an art between that, because valuers are on to people who come up and give them free advice, Ben, when they come to the house. But it's certainly important in an environment where the comps are hard to keep up. And that's what the valuer needs to use as comps. So if you can give them some intel around what's sold that isn't on public record, that's helpful. Obviously, on the day of settlement, you got to work out who's going to get the keys. Are you, owner occupier? Yep. But if you're an investor, you get the property manager to go and pick them up for you and start getting cracking on, the tenanting that they may have been doing in advance. They may have been able to show people in advance. Quantity surveyor, Ben. We've had Bradley Beer on a couple of times. Circle back, go and do a search for Bradley Beer, listen to his podcast episodes. But clearly, you want to maximize cash flow, so you want to get prepared for that. Get a quantity surveyor's report for you to maximize the depreciation on the building. And then finally, insurance. If you're buying in a strata scheme, make sure that there was already a building insurance in place. And of course, landlord's protection insurance, Ben.
Mm-hmm. Just a quick one there, Bryce, around different states and territories in terms of how a contract exchanges. And there are some gazumping laws in different states, certainly New South Wales. When I was buying back in the 2001 to 2000, gazumping was happening everywhere. So you need to make sure that those exchange of contracts happens. If your offer has been verbally accepted to you, you absolutely need to move very quickly to get those contracts exchanged, where you've got the vendor's signature and your signature on the contract, because a contract can fall over. When we were talking about getting all of those valuations done and everything, you've got a conditional and then an unconditional contract when it comes to buying property. So make sure you're doing that work to get those exchanges happening.
That's a good point. In New South Wales, you can't have conditions. It's just swap the contracts over. It's unconditional. You might even have to waive cooling off the 66W form. So New South Wales buyers are the toughest in the country. Like their system is, if you're in the thick of the big markets in Sydney, that's the big surf there.